Hello everybody, this is Cheryl. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you how I made fried green tomatoes out of tomatoes that I grew in my greenhouse this winter, 3 heirloom varieties, and I canned them. So step 1 is you can the sliced green tomatoes. And then step 2, you fry them. And I'll show you that procedure. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you if I think it's worth going through this process and what I've learned. Okay, let's get started. Canning again, gardeners. This time I am cold packing tomatoes, and then I will top them off with boiling water. Well, I'll tell you about all that later. I sanitize my jars in boiling water, and I'm also going to prepare some tomatoes for fried green tomatoes later. These jars are washed here. I just need to sanitize them in the boiling water. Here are some tomatoes that I'm going to make pickles, and I have more I'm washing over here. And I'll be just doing small batches a day until all of the tomatoes are harvested. The ones that are soft will be pickles, and the ones that are firm will be water bath canned for fried green tomatoes at a later date. I'm not going to post this video right away. I'm going to can these and process them for 2 weeks, and then I'm going to fry them up, at least a jar of them, and see how it works before I share it with you. See here, I'm putting the large slices of tomatoes in the wide mouth jar. That one may be a little too thin, but I'm still going to can it. Okay. Let me see if I can hold on a second to get them to line up like slices. And some of them I had to cut off just a little bit of the tomato because they were too large for even the wide mouth jar. Okay, go in there. Tomatoes into the jars. Making sure that that's laying flat down. And I slice the tomatoes 1/4 inch thick. And I think I'm going to buy one of those. I think I'm going to buy one of those little small canners for when you only have a few jars. Okay, that's good. Also, I have 2 jars that I'm going to be able to process, and 1 jar of pickles. You can get the pickles. Pint jars, you want to add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, bottled lemon juice they call for, and half a teaspoon of pickling salt. I don't do the sodium, and so I omitted that. And then you're gonna, on top of that, you're gonna fill your jar up with boiling water after you have packed the tomatoes firmly. And then you're gonna put your sanitized lids and rims on after you wipe your jars off. You guys know that you have to always wipe your jars off. I use vinegar, and want to make sure you get a good seal. And then you're going to put it in your hot canner. Well, you can start heating it up now. And you're going to put the top on your canner after it comes to a boil, and you will boil these for 40 minutes. You want to make sure that your jars are completely covered at least 2 inches. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to debubble. I'm going to take this out, and it's very important. You see those bubbles coming to the top? You have to do this step. If you don't, you can get some seepage. So make sure that you get all the bubbles out. You might want to do this for a few minutes and then come back. It's hard to do it with one hand because I usually hold the jar, but I still see a lot of bubbles, so I'm going to put my phone down and I'm going to continue to do this. And by the way, I'm going to use a pickling brine in this one. Just look up my recipe or my video on how to can sweet peppers, and I use that same brine for the pickled green tomatoes. But these right here, we just processing them with a little lemon juice, and that's, oops, to keep them acidic. But they are already acidic. A lot of people make fried green tomatoes out of their red varieties. This is a green variety, and it's already very, very acidic. They're delicious too. And I am certainly going to be canning this variety or these varieties of green tomatoes again. And you can look in my catalog and you can see the 4 different types of green tomatoes that I grew this year. Okay, so I'm putting the phone down and I'm going to go ahead on and continue to debubble these. Jars have been sufficiently debubbled. I don't see any bubbles. So now I'm going to wipe the rings, the tops, and apply the lids that I was boiling in water. And we'll get them in the canner. Just a very small amount of this liquid and put it into the other one because it's a little bit too much there. I think that'll do it. And I'm going to re-wipe them again. With the vinegar on my paper towel. And now I'm going to put the lids on. And in order to do that, I need to get my magnetic lid picker. So I have my lid picker upper. It's magnetic. I'm going to put 2 of them on. One on that one. Put our tops, and when I put the phone down, I am going to make sure that they are finger tight. I processed the tomatoes in a water bath canner for 40 minutes. I made sure that the canner covered the rims of the jars at least 2 inches. And then I removed them and I let them sit there for 24 hours and made sure that all the lids had sealed the next day, and I put them in my pantry. I'm going to wait for 2 weeks and then I will fry the tomatoes and I will show you that procedure. Okay, I'll see you in 2 weeks. Well, by the magic of videotaping and YouTube, I'm going to show it to you right now. So I'm going to towel dry the tomatoes. I see the ones that are too ripe, that's not going to work, but this is a good firm one. And I'm going to put it in the egg mixture and then into the flour. And then back in the egg mixture. That's how I do it. Everybody does it differently. And then into the cornmeal. And then I'm going to fry it in extra virgin olive oil. Okay, I'll be back. I'll let you see what it looks like. So here are my results after frying the green tomatoes in 1 inch of extra virgin olive oil on medium heat for 2 minutes on both sides. I flipped it over. And then I took them out and I drained them with a paper towel and I tasted them. And I just had to add a pinch of salt and black pepper. Now, you can add the seasoning to your taste in your cornmeal, that last thing you apply before you put it into the frying pan. But I just know from experience the seasoning will fry off and go into the oil. So I just like to add my seasoning at the end. So now, here's what I learned. Will I do this again? Definitely. But here are some of my mistakes. I don't mind sharing the good and the bad with you. I want you to learn from something that I think I could do better. Number one, I'll use thicker slices. I'll use a half an inch slice of the tomato instead of a fourth of an inch, and I will only use the extra firm tomatoes. The soft ones got a little bit too mushy, in my opinion, and they should have been made into pickles in the first place. But I will can them again, I will fry them again, and yes, I will make another video. Okay, so it's been exactly 3 weeks since I originally water bath canned these green tomatoes, and I'm getting ready to fry some, and I'll give you my results. I'm so excited, I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control and I think I like it. Oh yeah. Well, I'm excited to tell you that these fried green tomatoes taste delicious. I only fried 5 of the firmest ones. So now I know that it wasn't necessary for me to grow green tomatoes, a green variety of tomato, so that I can get a big slice. I don't need to do that because the large slices that have a lot of meat in the center don't hold up well during the water bath canning process, and they get mushy. As you guys know, this was an experiment. And I'm very happy. I hope you can tell in my voice that I am ecstatic that I went through this process and I was able to share the good and the bad with you. Okay, so this concludes this video. I appreciate you watching my videos. As always, I just want you to know that I love each and every one of you. I'm going to end it now because I need to fry the rest of these tomatoes so I can take it over to my son-in-law and daughter's house, Bree and Brian's mom and dad, and watch the Super Bowl. Woohoo! Thank you for watching, everybody. Bye now.
The end.